Okay. Mm, they do smell good. Anyways, how you all doing? We are definitely, as you can see back here again, and I wanted to do another video here, and this is it's kind of an interesting topic because it has to do with exposure that I've had to a lot of people in the spiritual community, and I'm constantly hearing this comment when they're going through their journey, so to speak. Yes, I'm working at this and I'm working at that, and I'm aware of this issue and I'm working on it. Um, and I always kind of mention it to them. I'm kind of cautious when I do it because there seems to be this I don't know where it came from, belief system that in the spiritual community you have to be, if you're in a spiritual community and you're going through the evolutionary process and you have had a heart center awakening, that you need to be working at this and working at that. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little weird, but the way I look at spiritual growth, I look at it quite possibly in a much different way than a good number of you do, is I look at spiritual growth as a journey of challenges, opportunities, and the concept that the idea that if it's difficult in any way, shape, or form, it's because I'm making it so, or there's something that I'm not doing in the right way. And I've developed kind of a theme or an idea over the past few years, and a lot of this comes through the exposure I've had with other people. And I've seen some people that I've worked with come and they're just literally emotionally, mentally, and to be quite honest with you, spiritually exhausted. Why? Because they're working at this and they're working at that. And here's one of the things that I do know about adults. Again, I see this time after time after time. If you tell somebody, especially an adult, that in order to do this or accomplish that or grow spiritually, that they're going to have to work at this, they're going to have to work at that, they're going to have to change this, they're going to have to change that, they're going to look at you with that kind of funny face, and inside their heads they're saying, you don't want to do this shit. I don't want to work at it. And I think because people attempt to work at this and work at that is why in many cases they never make any changes, because they really don't want to work at it. They don't. It's human nature that we don't want to work at anything unless it's fun. Because as soon as you can find something that interests you and it's fun, it doesn't matter if it's outside digging up a lawn, planting a garden, putting shingles on the roof, or going shopping for a new purse or a new pair of shoes. There's no effort, no work in that. It's fun. So I wonder if at any point in time has anybody besides myself come to the conclusion that spiritual awakening, and in my opinion, spiritual awakening doesn't really actually begin until the heart center activation opens and begins to start. Some people will say it starts with the Kundalini awakening. I'm not going to say I disagree, but for me, officially, once the heart center activation takes place, then I know that one magical thing is going to happen. That person's life, personality, surroundings, career, everything is going to change. Status in any way, shape, and form in life, relationship concept, everything's going to change. Now my question to all of you is when all of this was happening, everything was changing, Everything was falling apart. Your whole world was going to pot. Were you working at it? Absolutely not, you weren't. It was happening all by itself. And it didn't seem to matter what you thought about it or what you tried to do to stop it. It just happened anyway. So how do you explain that? Why is it we got so many people working at this in the spiritual community, they're working at that to change this or change that, and yet the whole damn thing happens all by itself without you getting your head in the way? Go figure. So if that's the case, then why not look at the journey as whatever comes up that you perceive as an issue that you have to work at is only an issue that you have to work at because you perceive that you have to work at spiritual growth. But spiritual growth was never intended to be difficult. The only reason it's difficult is because it becomes or comes up against your belief systems, which in a lot of cases in the beginning in your spiritual awakening are very rigid. And the only thing that I've seen in many cases and times with people, as you've all heard me say, sometimes the only way to get us to change is somebody's got to be hitting you on the head with a stick stoutly before it gets your attention. So voila, the heart center activates and all of this caca and shit happens all around you. And you go into a state of depression. Why me? Why is all of this happening? Look at my life. It's all going to pot. But that's your opinion. A year down the road, when everything's changed and turned around and life is going in a whole different direction, which you have nothing to do with, you look back on it and say, wow. And it all happened all by itself. So why would anybody in their right mind at this particular point come to me or to anybody else and say, well, I'm still working with this issue and I'm still working with that issue? Look, pay attention. If there's any issue that you need to be dealing with or resolving, don't worry about it. If you've had the heart center awakening, and you went through the first protocol where everything changed beyond your control, effort, and anything that you did or said to interfere, stop it, because you couldn't, you totally were not in control. Apply that same concept in your head when it comes to an issue that you're aware of. Your responsibility, pay attention, is to be aware of the issue that you have. That's all you need to do. And how do you become aware of the issue? The issue will be presented to you in the form of a set of circumstances, individuals, experiences, and or more of the same repetitively until you do what? You let go of the belief system that created the issue in the first place. And in some cases, those issues were not created by you. They were created by thought-formed belief systems implanted into you to modify your behavior for the convenience of others, religious indoctrination, peer input, educational systems, and friendship input or advice that was never any good in the first place. So the next time a friend comes up to you and say, hey, you know what, you really need to work at that. You know what you tell them? I'm not working at it at all. Because if I'm not having fun, I'm not doing it. Let me give you an example. And you can call me weird or strange, but I haven't had a job, work, go there, be there 6 and 7 days a week, working 10 to 12 hours or 8 hours, and then worrying about paying the bills and all the stresses and all of that stuff. Because I had a deja vu one day. And it went something like this. I can remember sitting in a house, my wife at that time, and we had bought, and I would have been about 31, 32. We had 2 cars in the carport outside. I had a nice mobile home to go fishing with, a boat, trailer, CB radio, nice big antenna in the house, all kinds of play toys. And that was life. And I woke up one day and I looked around me and I said, this is it? This is all of us have to look forward to for the rest of our life? Is from the time we begin the workforce to the time we retire, we're going to work at this, we're going to work at that, we're going to get paid, we're going to pay bills, we're going to continue to feed the system that has been created. In order to be part of the system, I have to produce till the day I drop. And then when I drop, they're still going to take some of my stuff, whatever it is that I have left. So I said to myself, this has got to change. This is not fun. But I didn't know what I needed to discover about myself so that I would know what fun was for me. So everybody needs to discover what fun is for them. And sometimes you may have 2 or 3 things that are fun. I mean, can you imagine a baseball player making $20 million a year just to go out on a mound and throw balls? Not only that's fun, it's hilarious. I mean, can you imagine getting paid that kind of money just to play ball and have fun? It's no wonder we all like these people that get these big, wild amounts of money just for doing what they like to do. So I decided I'm not doing the system anymore. I don't want to work. I want to have fun. So I learned how to meditate. That was the first step forward. And I ain't no genius, and I'm no smarter than anybody else. As a matter of fact, most of you are so smart, you're outsmarting yourself. That's your problem. Me, I'm just dumb enough to be a little bit smart. Most of you are outsmarting yourself. So, having said that, what I decided to do is start looking for something that I could do that I like to do that was fun. I discovered meditation, and then when I discovered meditation, a strange thing happened. Just by fluky coincidence, you know, that nebulous word we don't understand whatever it means, when I started thinking about, I want to have fun with the rest of my life. And prior to that, I have to think that when I was having fun, I would be out partying or going to parties or barbecues on the weekend, going fishing or hunting, and that was fun. That was my idea of fun. Everybody has their idea of what they think is fun when they can afford it and when they have time. Not good enough. I wanted to have fun all the time. Think about that. You want to have fun all the time? Even when I feel shitty and I'm going through a lot of spiritual stuff, okay, changes of the body, changes of the mental body, changes of the emotional body, all that kind of stuff. Same as the rest of you. I'm still having fun. Even though a lot of times I feel shitty, even doing a video, and my body is being very crotchety and cranky, I'm still having fun. Can most of you say that? So, what happened was, all of those coincidences beginning to add up. And now I have a motto, and I've had the motto for quite a few years. If I'm not having fun, I ain't friggin' doing it. So why are so many of you working so hard at spiritual growth and issues that you have, that you know that you have. If you don't know what the issue is, you've got a problem. But let me assure you of something. You will attract to yourself situations, circumstances, and people that will bring out your issues or your patterns that need to be resolved. In my case, it's called pushing people's buttons, which I am extremely good at. And I love pissing people off because I know, even if they don't like me or they put nasty comments in there, that sooner or later, if I don't get the job done, someone else will push the same button. And they will have to face the issues that they need to deal with. In most cases, it'll be a belief system or something along that line. So my motto is having fun. How do you have fun? Spending a lot of time at the heart center chakra is my way of doing it. Because in the beginning, when the heart center opened, I had no control of what happened. My whole life went to pot. And that was after I was having fun for a number of years. And I said to myself, well, why is all of this happening when I'm having fun now? And I got it. Because whoever, whatever lives in here said, Mel, you're doing so well having fun, we want you to have more fun. And I said, son of a bitch, I never thought of that. Maybe that's what's wrong with other people. They reach a certain point of having fun, and they think there isn't any more to come. So suddenly they start having issues, and they think they have to work at it harder, especially in the spiritual community. So you got to work at it. I don't work at nothing. Because I know full well that everything that needs to be dealt with, changed, modified, corrected, balanced, is going to flow toward me as a situation, a person, a circumstance, or whatever. So I don't have to work at it. So stop doing it. Stop working at your spiritual growth. Go with the flow of the spiritual growth, and remember, when the heart center activation took place in all of you out there that are listening to this video, the one thing that you never had is control of the situation at any point in time. Your heart center did what it wanted to do, changed what it wanted to change, moved who it wanted to move, broke up any pattern that it wanted to, broke up your relationship, your career, and whatever it wanted to, and you didn't have a word of diddly squat to say about it. It happened anyway. So if any of you out there think you're in control of your spiritual growth, you're not. It's a process. So if you think that you have to work at the issues, and I'm talking about your 3D dimensional state of consciousness living in this reality now, that's the problem. That 3D state of consciousness right now in your reality is getting in the way. Because now you're going to go to the next level. And some of you are still thinking you have to work at it. You don't. Just watch what's coming toward you. And as you do so, it will become blatantly aware to you as you feel antagonized, ticky, agitated, that there's something there that needs to be resolved or brought out. Call it an issue. So what happens is more and more of the same will keep coming toward you in different avenues and venues. The best way to do it is to attract yourself what's called a twin flame. Source. Manifested through another person who is in similar vibration to you, which is going to do what? Act as a catalyst. Wow, somebody says, he's so right. This is not rocket science. It's so simple. Why can't we figure it out? Because we're so locked in these silly illusional belief systems that think we have to do this. Do what? Work. Where did this work concept come from? Well, I'll be a son of a bitch. It's because we grow up as teenagers and kids, we're going through that. And what's the prime focus of when we get through? The system. The system being what? The educational system called school, religion, school, government school, political school, cultural school. And then what do? We're prepared to enter the what? The workforce. Very good, you in the back. Pay attention to this video and I'll simplify spirituality for you. How am I doing so far? So being now well conditioned and programmed to the workforce, you look for a job. What are you going to do? You're going to look for a job, hopefully it's going to pay you enough money to eat, which for many people doesn't happen. So what do? You can still work with the system, but change it to suit your convenience. Instead of you being a product of the system, you become a master of motion of the system to use for your gain and growth. You can't beat them, bend them, modify them to suit you. Not the system that's been ingrained in you to produce, pay taxes, drop dead, and then come back and do it again. I ain't coming back after this round. I don't need to. I got it down pat this time. So I want to help some of you get it down pat. So, having said that, the deprogramming begins, which happened when you had the heart center activation. You were getting deprogrammed, literally. So once you have somebody who has acted as a facilitator, catalytic, button pusher, to make you aware of a system malfunction, belief system, that is impeding your progress going forward, then you're aware of an area that needs to correct. So what do? At this point, if you have reached that level of consciousness where you understand a button or an issue has been pushed within you, and you accept it for what it is, and not lose any self-worth or self-esteem or feel guilty and the rest of that programming shit, you then can participate in the fun and the excitement and the enthusiastic looking forward to what you know will be the positive outcome of what is now about to happen. So being aware of it, you've looked at it, and you say, oh yeah, that was there all the time and I wasn't aware of it, and I attracted all of this stuff, people and situations who are presenting me with it. So what do I do now? Now that you're aware of it, you can go down in here in a meditation, if you will, to the heart center chakra. Remember that place in the heart center chakra? And you can see it, feel it, letting go as a visualization, if you will, as a movie. Seeing it as being no longer part of you. Recreate it as you know it to be and its point of origin. What this is doing is giving you understanding of what's happening. And as you recreate it and let it go through the heart center chakra, now what do I mean by letting it go? Breathe it out. Once you have created it and see it and feel it, blow it out through the heart center in your breath. In with the new, out with the old. Any of you remember that, what I've been saying? You know, some of my stuff is so simple. It blows right by most of you. In with the new, out with the old. I've been teaching that exercise on YouTube for years. Why? Because it works. But you know what the problem is? So many of you are looking for a complicated formula or some bell chiming or smoking or doing ayahuasca or all of that caca kitty shit stuff. And you're losing the simplicity of spiritual growth. So how can you possibly have fun if you got all this gaga goo goo shit all around it? Simplicity works. You know, when you're a small baby in a crib, what does everybody do? Everybody brings the baby in the crib toys and trinkets to hang it on the side of the crib or over its head, or little bebops and noisemakers and squiggly things. The day of that for us is, in a spiritual community, is over. We don't need all of that crap. We're not in a crib anymore. We're not babies. Let's stop acting like it. Let's get down to some really fun stuff. It's simple. So as you allow this to happen, and you become more and more aware of it, you grow even faster. And as you work together now with the heart center chakra, which is your source button, call it whatever label you want, then what happens, it goes even faster. It becomes even more fun. And I can recall many times that people will say, oh, well, I'm in my twin flame connection. We're not, really doing anything together, but holy mackerel, Mel, my creative abilities and my gifts and all kinds of stuff are showing up, and it's just so amazing. Don't be amazed. That stuff was there all the time. The problem is it was buried in all of this other programming shit, and it didn't get a chance to express. So you'll always draw toward you people, situations, and circumstances that will facilitate growth for you. And if the beauty of the system is this, it's wonderful. Pay attention here again. If you don't get it the first time, no problem. I'll push your button again, and I'll push it again, or somebody else will. Again, and again, and again, until you're feeling so much pain and hurt, you have to let it go. In with the new, out with the old. How much more simple can I make this shit? So the idea here is keep it simple. Go with the flow. Create a motto. If I'm not having fun, I'm not doing it. So if you're having a day when you're not having fun, what is it in any particular day that's preventing you from having fun? Now, fun can simply just be going outside and going for a walk. What's preventing you from doing that? What's preventing you from developing your creative abilities, belief systems? If you're expending energy defending your belief systems and answering on my comments with nasty or rude comments, you're not disrespecting me. You're disrespecting yourself and showing you to be the tithead that you really are. That's all you're doing. It's very simple. In with the new, out with the old. It's that simple. So once you become aware of the belief system and the content of the belief system, that which created the belief system in the first place, the templating of it is dissolved and broken up. It'll happen, and you don't have to be involved in it at all. So what happens to the energy of that particular template or belief system? It is recycled back through the system and is added to your consciousness so that you can, now being more fluid, hopefully, with your belief systems and letting them go as they need to be let go of, you gain in consciousness and you gain in personality. And suddenly you're having more fun. So therefore, this may sound a little strange, but I actually look forward to when a challenge comes toward me. All right? I actually do. Well, sometimes when it's happening, I don't, okay? To be honest. But I know that when one is coming toward me, that the outcome is going to be positive. And that's what you need to know. The only thing that's stopping you from having fun is you. Okay? The other problem is this, is people have been programmed and conditioned that if you're not going on a 3-week vacation or a 2-month vacation, or you're traveling in a boat across the ocean, or you're in Cancun for 2 weeks, or laying on a beach, or you're getting drunk in Barbados, or you're on a cruise liner, that's what the public want you to think is having fun. That's not fun, that's entertainment. Fun is your concept that you create, not which someone created for you. You see. So I have fun. I don't go anywhere. I don't need to. And look at the money I save for tickets and plane fare. And I can talk to anybody I want to in the world. I don't have to be there. But that's just me. Because I'm having fun my way. Because if I can't do it my way, I'm not doing it. Because it's not fun. Get it? Not rocket science. Have a great day.